In this video, we're going to show you how to use the SARTopo offline address search tool. This only applies when you're running SARTopo offline and you do not have internet connection, meaning you cannot use the search bar here to look for an address. This would be useful when you want to keep track of where officers are in the field or where other address reports, street address reports come in that you want to add a marker to. So what we have here is we're looking at a saved map on SARTopo offline. You do need to work on a saved map. So we're going to show you how to start up the tool. Right now I have it in my start menu right here. You'll want to have it somewhere accessible where you can start it while SARTopo offline is already running. So it opens up this window. It tells you it's loading stuff. You can minimize the black window. That's not really important at all, but it does need to stay open, so don't close that black window. So it's going to make these two little windows here that are going to stay on top. They're set to stay on top no matter what you do, unless you close them or minimize them. There's the main SARTopo offline address search window, which is really the only one you're going to be working with most of the time. When you first start it, it also opens up this options window, and you'll see it's asking for a saved map URL. So what has to happen here is you have to associate this SARTopo offline address search program with the address of the saved SARTopo offline map. So you can just copy that, drag over that, and copy that in the actual web browser. And right now I'm hitting Control-C to copy. And then you go back into your saved map URL field, and I'm hitting Control-V to paste. As soon as you hit Tab to tab out of that field, it's going to check the link. You get a little green light here, meaning the link is good, and also the last few characters of the address show up in the link box in the main window, so you can tell that it's good. So also in this options field here, options window before we close it, you can see that it automatically loaded up a bunch of addresses from the CSV file, and you can see how many locations it loaded. If you need to change that file or reload it or anything like that, browse to a different file, you can do that here, but you're probably not going to need to. We'll look at this select a folder thing in a minute, but for now, let's go ahead and hit close on the options window. So this is normally all you're going to be working with. It's going to ask you for an address. So let's say I want to type in a new address. It has a little suggestions, auto suggestions thing here as you keep typing, things that match what you've typed so far. And then you do have to left click to select one of those. And as soon as you select it, it'll figure out what your lat and longitude is. It won't actually make the marker until you hit new. Click on new right there. So you'll see in SARTopo offline, it should show up in a minute here with a new marker, and it created a new folder for you. If there was no addresses folder yet, it makes that the first time around, and it makes the marker with the address that you typed in. It doesn't zoom the map to it yet. You would have to left click the name of the marker to zoom the map to it. And right now I'm viewing the county parcel layer, so you can zoom in there and see, yep, sure enough, it's 12340 Elizabeth. So let's just make a couple of those to illustrate things here. Any old address will do. As you're making new markers, you can choose what type of symbol you want it to show up with. The default is the red dot, but here's some other ones that might be relevant for the type of thing we're working on. So you select the marker type you want, and then you hit new, and look at that, it shoved it under the existing addresses folder. So again, you have to left click on it to zoom to it, and yep, that's 224 Bennett. So let's just make one or two more of these here. Let's say that we want to use these to indicate not just an address that we've got a call about, but the current location of a unit that will be moving in the field. So that's nice that it made this with the name of the address, but we want it to indicate a unit. Let's say 1 Paul 123, could be anything, and you're going to change them just like we're editing a marker, any other marker in SARTopo. Let's set them to green or something like that. And let's change this one here in the same manner to 24 Bennett. Let's make him 1 Sam 99, and he's also going to be a green dot. And now, does it make sense to have those under the addresses folder? Let's say no, not really. We want to make a new folder and to indicate these officers in the field, and we're going to call it whatever we want to call it. Units sounds good. Use bulk ops to move those to the units folder. Okay, now the reason we're showing you this is because this has the ability to edit an existing marker as well. So let's say that we just got a call that 1 Paul 123 has moved. His current location is now I don't know. Let's make something up here. 22 Turpentine, Nevada City. Instead of making new marker, right, we want to edit an existing marker. So hit that pull down on edit, and you will see that he's under there, 1 Paul 123. As soon as you left click on him, he will move 1 Paul 23 to over there. Well, that's interesting. He turned red again. Yeah, so he updated the location. Now let's say you have a lot of markers in here that don't apply to units in the field. This A thing, which is the first thing I created in order to save the map. This 1234 Elizabeth, that's something happened at that address, and we're not going to want to move that ever. We just want to see the quick list of units to move. So let's hit this gear picture here to open up the options menu again. That's where this select the folder, only list existing labels from folders with a typo, I guess. Select a folder, click that, and it'll show whatever folders currently exist. We only want to see units. Okay, so let's close this option again. Next time you go to hit edit, it'll only show you the units. And we will get that fixed so that 1 Paul 23 stays in units. But that is only showing you things right now that are in the units folder. So hopefully that kind of explains how to use the SARTopo offline address search tool a little bit.